Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Bod Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 192, July 22nd, 2020, and I am Clyde. Today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hey everybody.
And Jimmy Tremmel.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Summer is almost over.
Wow.
Really? No, it just begun. Oh man.
Yeah, the main hurricane season hasn't even got here for us yet.
Well,
yeah, you guys are supposed to get a couple this year, aren't you?
Well, it's
no?
Every year, right?
Well, I know, but I don't know. I heard something about big hurricanes. I don't know. I don't usually keep track of that stuff.
Exactly what I was going to say, Clyde. Why is that different from any other year?
It's like, hey, Minnesota, you're going to get some big blizzards this winter, right?
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Sorry.
Says the man living in Washington State that never has either, right?
Yeah, we do. We have gigantic blizzards sometimes,
but you will never get a hurricane. It's not possible.
No, we don't. We get typhoons.
Exactly.
They're not called hurricanes over
exactly.
Here. So they also call them something else, depending on like cyclones. And
cyclones are south of the equator. I believe. Okay. I looked that up at one point.
Is that because they spin the other way?
Maybe.
I have no idea. Maybe. Yeah. That'd be nice to know.
Yeah, no, hurricanes happen in, if I remember right, the difference between hurricane and typhoon is hurricanes happen on the east and typhoons happen on the west.
Yeah.
Like in the Pacific. So.
Yeah.
So, yes.
But why is the United States the dividing line of that?
I believe it's the oceans, not that. I believe it has to do with which ocean it's in, not what's east or west of us.
So what do you call it? What do you call it in the Indian Ocean?
In the Indian Ocean, it is a typhoon.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I think that's where the naming came from. Off the coast to the west of Europe, they called them hurricanes, and then like Asia, they called them typhoons. So that's why it's on either side of the U.S.
So, and as far as the winter storms we get, they probably aren't even close to what you guys get, but we do get some pretty nasty winter storms sometimes. We just get a little bit of everything. That's our secret. Then add volcanoes, so it's all good. It's wonderful.
Well, that's the one thing we don't have here in Florida. Nope. That's for sure.
Oh, sorry, I am wrong. It's a typhoon, or so cyclone is South Pacific and Indian Ocean is a cyclone.
Oh, okay.
So it's not equator like I thought.
Oh, okay. But if it's in the Grand Pacific.
The North Atlantic Ocean and Northeast Pacific, this says BBC says that it's a Northwest Pacific. It's a typhoon. Northeast Pacific, they are called hurricanes. So if it was off the coast of Russia, it would be a typhoon.
Oh.
And if it's off the coast of it would be a hurricane. I don't know.
That's stupid. Why do they make it so confusing? It's easy on the Atlantic Ocean.
And
They're all
then
hurricanes.
to make it even worse, you add in monsoons.
Oh, monsoon! Oh God, not monsoons. Those are the worst. I mean, goodness sakes, not like we can't deal with cyclones. And...
It's not even the same thing.
Yeah, but just the name monsoon makes it sound muggy.
Do you know what you call a hurricane on land?
Hurricane?
No, a tornado.
Sharknado?
No.
Yeah, it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah,
the spinning wind. It's just not sucking up water. It's just sucking up cows and trailer homes.
And sharks.
Sharks. Don't forget the sharks.
Yes.
Oy vey, not the sharks, please.
But on that note, what are we actually here to talk about?
We're going to start this week's news with a cool little device. It's a $30 remote available for Apple TV. This is a remote that has been come up for a replacement remote for the standard remote that's available for the Apple TV. If you remember, the Apple remote is a very simplified item that has some gesture controls and a touchpad on it in order for you to control the Apple TV experience, which some people feel is like the best experience ever, and other people feel like it's the worst thing ever devised by a human being. So, being that if you are in the latter camp, a remote like this may be something you're very much interested in. Apparently, there was another remote that was being offered overseas by a company called Swiss TV, and by Salt, a company, an internet provider called Salt. But they were having some crazy prices getting them over here in the States. This new one is going to be a $30 option for your Apple TV solution.
So, as most know, that love-hate relationship with this Apple TV remote, it's cut and dry. Like, people either absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it. I don't think there is any middle ground. Yep. From what I hear, I am in the absolutely hate it side. That's one reason I can't and won't test the Apple TV is because I can't stand that remote. But
I gotta say, my favorite remote I've ever used is the one for my JVC TV. The reason being is it's a standard remote. I don't have it, but imagine it's a standard remote like this with the normal buttons on the front. You flip it over, and you have a standard keyboard on it. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful. That needs to be on everything.
Yeah, I think this is good. I might get one of these. And I don't necessarily hate the Apple remote. I mean, now the touchpad part of it, I kind of like that part of it. But that might be the only part I like.
I think that's the part that most people hate it.
Yeah, I actually like that because you can move all around the screen and spin through menus and that kind of thing real good. So I kind of like it because it's like a very sensitive trackpad or something like that, right? And it's very responsive. So that part of it I like. But the other buttons and all on the remote, and the remote itself is kind of a little too thin, right? I mean, I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to make it sleek and that kind of
thing.
I
mean, and also, but I was going to say, this also adds volume and power for your TV, which is an absolute must.
No, you might convert Clyde to get himself an Apple TV.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, $30 I think is reasonable for a good remote, if it's a good remote. Now, if it ends up being like very cheap, like Chinesium, I guess is what people are saying nowadays, then no. But
I mean, it could be. Of course, there is one thing though. In the article points it out. Looks like there's no Siri button on there.
No. Well, I bet you there might be a Siri functionality, like if you hold something down, but. I don't know. I mean, do you really miss the Siri functionality on if you didn't have it out for your Apple TV?
Would I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, because it is a good way to search, like for movies or TV shows or something, right? If you didn't already have it in your queue, right? It's something, maybe an old movie you want to watch real quick. it is the best way to find it.
See, and you can't use other home devices, because I know, like with my Roku or the Android TV, they pair with the Google Homes around my house. So even if I didn't have the button on my remote, I could just talk to my house and say, "Hey, play this thing on the Roku," and it would just show up on the screen.
Yeah, I can do that too with my Echo.
Yeah.
Right, my Echo will do that too. To the
with
Apple
with your Apple TV.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then there's your solution.
So
Yeah.
I have a question, since I have never used an Apple TV remote, at least this kind. Does that have motion controls? Is it able to sense you doing this as well?
Yeah, and I mean, for the games, which I'm not much of a gamer, but yeah, if you play games on your Apple TV, I mean, I did try it a little bit, so it does do that for the games.
Does the waggle? Okay, gotcha. Just was curious. I'm certain this remote does not.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, having a trackpad on your remote, which I kind of like that, or maybe I've just gotten used to it or whatever. But with that, the really good thing is, like, especially if you click into like a long menu, you just swipe down real quick and it all the way down to the bottom.
So if the trackpad is like a if the Apple's original trackpad style click wheel, where you feel like it's moving something, and you're doing that would be fine.
If there's haptic feedback,
yeah, the haptic feedback would help a lot. But if you were to like flick and it would like be a mouse thrown and have like some velocity to it and carry with that sounds like it'd be really annoying. So.
Well, especially my complaint with that is I have trouble just picking the thing up without, let alone
touching
in the dark.
Button.
I typically like to use my remotes in the dark, and I'm fumbling around with it, trying to get it oriented right. And if I'm touching all over that thing, I don't need stuff happening on the screen.
I mean, I'm not going to defend.
No.
I won't defend that. I mean, and that's my problem with the remote too. It is kind of thin, and if you've got the 4K Apple TV, it does have a white ring around the menu button, which that helps. That helps a lot, right? But Clyde's right. I mean, even with that, right? It is easy to just pick it up from the wrong direction, and you think you're like, why isn't this thing working, right? And you're like, oh, I got it upside down. Right?
The only problem I could see them facing with this remote is the diehard Apple people refusing to buy it because obviously it's no good. It's not expensive enough.
Yeah, obviously, it's made with too much Chinesium. Oh, technically. So is most Apple products, but good stuff. Not the,
Well, no, I'm not saying, not everything Chinese is bad.
I know.
It's just the stereotypical, what they call Chinesium.
Chinesium.
Well, we used to call it
the very low end, flimsy kind of stuff that you find on AliExpress.
We used to call it pot metal, which was that metal that just was so cheap it almost felt like it was paper mache. It's just bad stuff. You try to screw a screw into it and you strip the hole right immediately. It's like, oh crap, it's cheap pot metal. All right, so something else that's got a remote. We have T-Mobile. They've announced they've got their new Android set-top box. It's going to go ahead and go through the FCC approval, and you can see it on the FCC website. It looks like your standard set-top box for using an Android operating system, so Android TV, and it looks like you will be able to. There's going to be a chance for you to be purchasing and using a T-Mobile offered home television service that will provide you 150 channels and an HD DVR for looks like about $90 a month. So
one thing to note: the picture at the top is not it. That's the old T-Mobile TV, I think, because if you notice, the remote isn't the same. Down below, that picture is the only thing that it has been. The picture, the new T-Vision remote down below is the only thing that has been submitted or is available on that FCC filing. But one thing that is worth paying attention to is that it's listed as being manufactured by SEI Robotics, which is important because that's the same company that manufactures the hardware for the TiVo 4K stream.
Oh, okay.
So in theory, this is going to probably be another dongle based, like the TiVo. But I mean, this is great because more players. This may be the year of Android TV, because
being the year for Android TV has been the thing for a while now, hasn't it? It's kind of like the year of Linux, right?
I mean, this looks pretty appealing, but the question I have though, for that $90 a month, does that include the internet service from T-Mobile?
Excellent question.
And so
Nope.
and that's the thing that's not clear right now. This is just a hardware filing with the FCC, so we don't have specific information. I know they have made comments in the past about bringing a home. Or weren't they the ones that were going to do the 4G home internet?
They have done that. Actually.
Yeah, they are doing that, and then I'm wondering if this is a complement to that. So, but yeah, new hardware coming from T-Mobile.
Yeah, you also get 400 hours of DVR.
It's pretty good.
That's good. I
150
wonder if
channels.
makes you wonder if it saves it locally or if it's on the cloud, but that's okay. We'll find that out later. Hey, that bug that happened on TiVo Stream 4K dongles. That's a bug that Clyde was dealing with from that dongle that was made by SEI Electronics.
Robotics.
It looks robotics. It looks like that they've made some changes to make that bug so it no longer appears. According to this article, there is no notice whether or not the de-linked hardware for those people who had the de-linked hardware, if that has been fixed for those users yet. Hey, Clyde, can you talk about this?
Okay, so basically, and it wasn't a big deal. It's
you made it a big deal.
Well, no, not this issue. This isn't. No, I was having an issue with the remote programming. The remote. This is if you have signed into anything with your Google credentials. And you have two-factor turned on, your device, like your phone or whatever, will prompt you and say, hey, you've just signed into this device. Was it you?
Right.
We're all familiar with that. The problem was the alert that was coming up on your phone said, hey, you were just signed into some SEI Robotics thing, and we don't know what it is. Are you sure you want to allow this? So people were freaking out and saying, oh, hell no. And they were hitting the button saying, no, remove access.
And cutting their own access.
Which then ultimately caused additional problems if they had like smart home things connected to the network. No. Yeah, so that was the problem. Number one, it was never risky to connect to it because it was an authorized device. It was something wrong on Google's end, the way they were listing it. So they have fixed that.
Now it says TiVo.
So now it says what it is, and it's not, hey, here's some sketchy device. Because I ran into that when I first set it up. Google questioned me, but being smart enough to realize, no, I literally just logged into a thing that is probably that. It's okay.
You said yes and said no problem.
Yeah, I just said whatever. I don't care because that's how I roll.
Hack me,
but
I don't care.
Yeah, and that was the whole reason that I became acquainted with the brand SEI Robotics, is because that was the very first time I'd ever seen it, I'd ever heard of it, was that day. And so the big question is, if you were one of the people that chose remove access and it broke your home automation stuff,
Mhm.
we're not exactly sure if this will fix it, but Google will no longer tell you that the TiVo 4K stream is risky. Air quotes.
Well, that's good. That's good. That, you know, maybe it is risky. You don't know. That's SCI Electronics. You don't know who they are. Don't just say.
Yeah, especially if they're made of Chinesium.
Yeah,
I know.
definitely.
Full of it. It's you in liquid form. You pour it inside. It's amazing. Makes it more Chinese-ish. All right, Amazon is doing a new thing with their Twitch services. They've taken the Twitch streaming technology and making a way for businesses to stream live feeds of their businesses and have it customized in a way so it's very easy for customers who are watching the stream to interact with the streamer as they're streaming, and for them to purchase things on it as they go along. It's literally a sales pitch streaming service using the Amazon's AWS platform and the Twitch technology. So guess what, guys? We're gonna go and get onto a Zoom or another kind of streaming where they're gonna pop up things that you can click to buy with on your screen, and this sounds horrible.
Well, actually, no. I think this is genius because especially if you are a company that pays to use AWS, and especially if you're heavily invested in AWS, being able to stream from a platform that's directly connected to the thing where all your stuff is good, because like that guy is clearly staged. He's showing a graph.
Yes, he is.
That's I would assume you can integrate that directly into the stream, because you can have your web hooks or whatever, for lack of a better term, to grab. But I mean, it doesn't Windows do, or doesn't Microsoft do that with Teams and Azure?
Well, yes, that's not the point. The point is that this allows you to easily integrate to your shopping and your selling. And
I'm just saying it easily allows you to integrate everything Amazon. But
I know.
I was just saying, as from a business standpoint,
I get it.
I think it makes sense.
But to me, this is Amazon just invented the internet version of QVC, and that sucks.
Good for them.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I guess, but I'm sorry. I don't want to, flip. This is going to be integrated somehow into something I don't want it to be. I'm going to have to flip through and oh goodness, guys, this is selling something.
Just so you know, you don't have to watch it.
No, I'm saying that this is. I bet you. This is going to be integrated
but what
into
I'm saying
Twitch
is that if that turns you off from someone that you enjoy, then that's on them. They lose a viewer. And I don't blame you. I don't need to be constantly sold to. I'm already busy fast forwarding 15 seconds through commercials on podcasts.
But all that said, my mom would probably watch this.
Hey, this is how you get Jimmy's mom onto Twitch.
Gotcha.
It's clearly not our show. Maybe she'll come for because I know my parents don't watch our show, but they might watch.
So are you saying we could get a whole new demographic of people on here if we were hawking something and with a buy now button on there through Amazon? We get the Amazon affiliate link.
That's what I'm saying.
Nice. Look, that old phone available now on Amazon. Click our affiliate link. We may get. No, it's an old Uniden. VTech?
Uniden.
I always called Uniden.
Yep.
Uniden.
I've had these things for years. They still work. Great. I plugged the batteries back in and they were like, hi.
Okay. I'll work for you. No problem. And you can still buy those batteries. They're still
I ended up, because they even though the 10-year-old batteries did work, not well. So
Not for very long.
So I typed the model number into Amazon, and I got original replacements, OEMs, for anything. It cost me like $4 each.
Nice.
I think I got maybe 2 of them for $5 or something like that. Whatever. But yeah,
Nice.
you can get that.
You have
through
but that means you have a phone line. Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's where since I work from home, I don't want my business calls being forwarded to my cell phone.
Yeah, I get that.
So when this phone rings, I know it's work.
Okay.
So I don't have an actual phone line. I have a Obi-Hi.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
I'm leveraging Google Voice.
Gotcha. Totally makes sense if you're using an Obi-Hi. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that, but never got around to it.
Yeah, Obi 200. It was super simple.
Yeah, you would think it's a lot of other companies getting away from our original contact. You would think a lot of companies would do that, but only Obi-Hi got the rights to link it to Google Voice.
They didn't for a long time. Because Google has been notoriously difficult to get your because there was the Uma, or they used to be able to do it everywhere, and then Google said, "Oh, hey, we're changing the way that we integrate our Google Voice," and then everything stopped working. And Obi's the only one. Obi is owned by one of the phone companies now. What is it?
It doesn't matter. They've still got it. They've somehow got a deal, and they're still running it.
And the Obi 200 that I'm using costs like $40, and it's just a one-time thing. And yeah,
I don't remember Uma Thurman being a spokesperson for them though.
Yeah, Polycom bought Obi-Hi, so you've got Polycom and Google working together.
Polycom. I haven't thought of that company in about 5 years.
Which is funny because Polycom was,
they were
were
in business phones.
But Obi-Hi's only been around since 2010.
Yeah. Hey, if you are an Amazon Prime member and you live in Germany, you get access to free TV. That's right. The 38 channels that are from the public broadcasters in Germany are providing you with giving you internet access to those channels if you are a Prime TV member. You will have to fill out a quick online form in order to enable the service, but that's available for anybody using the Prime TV app in Germany. And there's rumors that this type of access is possibly a way for Amazon to get their feet wet in traditional TV programming and possibly expanding from Germany to other locations.
I just wish you didn't have to live in Germany to get it.
Can you VPN in? Come on. Can I?
I could, I suppose.
No, that would be against terms of service, but you could visit.
Yes.
I have been thinking about going and living in Germany for a few months at a time.
I have a serious question that related to our current predicament. Right now, we're not allowed to go to Germany.
Oh, right now, this moment.
Well, when has that ever stopped me? I go where I want.
Good point. Just ask it. This is an interesting thought. All right. So Xbox has been making some announcements. They've been working on, they're getting ready for their big push to their new system coming out later this year to compete against those pesky PS5s. They've been also making sure that people are going to be working on getting access to the xCloud, which is their streaming service available to users.
Is it the service formerly known as Mixer?
No. That is the streaming service where you would stream yourself to the service, kind of like Twitch.
Well, that's
Go ahead. xCloud is more like Stadia, where you're literally streaming a game off of the internet to your device. And they've now announced that the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, this is the one that gives you free games on your Xbox systems and is available to play those same games on your PC, will also include xCloud streaming service when it launches in September at no additional cost. So you will be able to get your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is $15 a month, And if you don't have an Xbox, you don't have a PC that's good enough to play games, you will still be able to use xCloud to stream your game directly to your low-end device as long as it's supported. That's interesting because it also includes a bunch of games with it too. So
yeah. Oh, if this is one of those things that you just go, yeah, because if they didn't offer it, it's like, what are you guys doing?
So
why
it's
are you
interesting.
not competing?
Well, this is probably the most compelling of them all because it gives you Xbox Game Pass Ultimate gives you a bunch of games whether you're playing on your Xbox or your PC, or if you don't have either of those, you can use the xCloud streaming for free on any of those games. And you will get the other options out there right now are Stadia, which is doing okay but not great. PlayStation is streaming old games for emulation, which is the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. And then you've got the NVIDIA cloud service, which has been rocky with its start because it originally came out and it was awesome, and then everybody was pulling their stuff from support for whatever reason. So it's probably the most compelling of all the different options out there. It just isn't launched yet for anybody to truly try, except for a couple of people trying it.
Yeah, and I agree with Bad Weave, who says, he's kind of not too excited about this because he was an Xbox owner who was perfectly fine without Game Pass, Mega Super Awesome-O, and now he doesn't have a choice anymore. See, and that was the thing that turned me off about the PS4. I was never happy about Xbox requiring you to pay for their subscription in order to participate in online play, like PvP.
Right.
And I always liked that the PS2 and the PS3, it wasn't required. But then the PS4 is when Sony went, hey, yeah, if you want to play online multiplayer, you have to pay for this subscription to stuff that you don't want so that you can play this one match once ever.
Because Xbox it was doing it.
Microsoft exactly.
Started it, and they followed suit.
They've taken that and then they've gone even further, and that's one of the reasons I don't think I think the PS4 that I have is the last console I will ever buy. I mean,
interestingly enough, for Bad Weave is I'm curious why he would not be able to use the $9.99 a month one that only gives him the multiplayer that apparently he feels like he's missing, or is there something I'm missing out on what he needs? But that's okay. I understand the whole idea behind it, not wanting to have to pay for multiplayer access. I really do.
I was saying multiplayer access was my hang up, but I think he's just not excited.
The $15 a month gives you access to all the other games that they offer with it. So I totally get it. So it's interesting. You're going to have to pay something, it looks like, if you want to play some of these games somehow, unless you get a Switch and,
Yep.
They have multiplayer. They make you pay for multiplayer too.
They've got this thing that's like way better at playing games. It's more comfortable, more flexible. I think it's called a personal computer.
That's true.
Oh, and all my games are backwards compatible.
For now, you never know. All right, HBO Max has been looking at the various things that they can do to help us, move on in our crazy world and our crazy lives. And HBO Max is now making a new TV series based on the amazingly relaxing app called Calm. A World of Calm is their new series where they're going to be providing you with a streaming of the most serene and peaceful landscapes and beautiful music and wonderful narrations by all kinds of very, very calm people like Idris Elba, Nicole Kidman, Lucy Liu, and Keanu Reeves. Whoa.
What?
Okay, I know, it's just insane, isn't it? They are actually trying to make essentially a slow TV stream show for you to watch in order to help you calm down. That's what it is. It's based off of an app. The app helped you calm down. The new TV shows you're going to watch, it's going to do the same thing with big stars.
But you know who's missing from that list?
Who?
Bob Ross.
Well, because they can't get, he's not known for reading dialogue that was
No.
written for him.
No, and he's no longer with us. But
That was my point.
But
He's
still,
very difficult to work with.
Well, hey, I mean that's he's
So
still,
unresponsive.
He's still in syndication.
He is, but he never responds to my fan letter. Never.
Still, I would put Bob Ross in one of those scenes there saying, "Hey, look at this happy little tree."
Honestly, the
think
most
I think
soothing
it'd be
voice
great.
I can think of is the narrator on SpongeBob. But
That's okay. That's an interesting choice. I just gotta say.
you know
All right.
what I'm talking about? Not the
Yeah,
dude that screams in the song, not
Yeah.
the pirate. The
The-
dude
the-
that's the fish guy,
Kind of
that
a
French guy
sounding.
fish guy parody.
1 moment later.
Yes, when he does like whole monologues, it's great.
I guess I haven't caught any long monologues by him. I guess I'll have to we'll try to find one of those. All right, Peacock is just got announced. It came out, and I know you guys are super.
Yeah,
big
it's
on the
got
cusp.
everything, and it's gonna have everything forever. It's gonna be awesome.
No, it's
Can't wait to sign up for it for these things.
not.
Like
Nope, you can't. Sorry,
what?
it's losing stuff right away.
Wait,
Sorry. Did you know that Peacock announced that they would come out with a bunch of these new big titles and old movies that they wanted to watch, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
basically were able to get contracts to get them for part of the launch for very short amounts of time. That means movies that you may be interested in watching, like The Matrix. It's leaving very soon. Hey, did you know the Fast and Furious was on there on day one? Day one launch, Fast and Furious. Day two, long gone. They literally had it for one day.
so I was gonna sign. I was thinking, you know what? I want to sign up for Peacock so I can watch Shrek.
Okay.
Will I be able to?
I have no idea.
Never
So-
mind.
So apparently they took the blue pill, huh?
Not yet, but they're going to, or they have. It looks like on July 31st it'll be gone. So will Shrek. Sorry.
Wow.
Well,
Wow,
then
that's-
that's fine. I'll just watch the Blair Witch Project.
That's also going to be gone on the 31st. Sorry.
Then the Mummy. As long as the Mummy is there, everything will be okay.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it off my Plex server. Is it the new Mummy or that Brendan
I
Fraser
don't know.
one?
Who knows?
If it's the new
Dude,
one,
who
I don't
cares?
No one-
Nobody's
nobody
gonna
wants that
watch
one.
either one.
No one. No.
No, this is. I find this hilarious. But I mean, I'm not surprised to see stuff leave.
Right.
I'm more surprised by the people that are surprised. But if it was something that they were advertising, say, hey, sign up because we have this thing, and it's immediately going away, that seems weird. But I mean, content's gonna come and go.
Of course.
you got to expect that. But you're gonna
but
have
not-
people
but-
you're gonna have people that are freaking out on Twitter or wherever because I signed up for a thing and the thing I wanted to watch is no longer there.
I signed up for Peacock. I did.
Yeah,
Totally.
cool.
I was signed up to their free account and browsed through it and saw nothing I wanted. I said, worth every dollar.
Yep. Although I am actually rather enjoying HBO Max, which
I hear
we'll-
you're getting
we'll
that
talk
for
about
free
later.
as well.
Well, that's the only reason I tried it, and I'm
Also-
glad I did.
Also
Yeah.
worth every dollar.
Yeah, you know,
Absolutely.
it's true what Claude said. Content comes and goes, but man, in the first month,
The first day.
That is a little asinine. If it was gonna be leaving within the first couple weeks, why even put it on there to begin with?
Get that subs, man. Get those subs.
Oh well, I'm sorry. You got to remember that Comcast subscribers did have early access.
That's
There
true.
are people that have been using Peacock for like a month or more. So, sorry, the timing is just bad if you're not one of those people and the thing that you were going to sign up to watch is actually gone. Yeah, like we all missed Evan Almighty.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I'm so sorry. Hey, if you are a bit really interested in watching your talk radio channels that were, especially the sports-based ones, there's now a good chance that a lot of those sports stations are available for you to watch on Twitch.com. They are literally broadcasting some of the Radio.com broadcasts on the Twitch channel for you to watch for various hometown hero fan series. So allowing you to get things like the Red Sox, the Yankees, or the Falcons radio stations over there on their stream for you to watch. This is more space. This is them starting to embrace the sports, guys. They're going to put the real sports into Twitch.
See, that guy in the picture is wearing a New York jersey, so I immediately find him untrustworthy.
I think it's interesting that his head is not proportioned correctly for the rest of his body. Is that normal for New Yorkers?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe they don't have a good design, eye for design in New York.
Is
that what you're saying?
No, all I'm saying is that one of three things: he is abnormally sized, or the lens is somehow making his head look bigger than the rest of his body, or that head has been pasted over somebody else's head because
I think he's just got a big head because he thinks he's super important.
Do you not know who that is?
No.
That's Phil Simms.
I don't know who
Nope.
that is.
No, sorry, can't help you. No.
Yeah, Phil Simms was a quarterback for the New York Giants when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, so he does have a big
even
head.
more
Gotcha.
Unreliable.
No, that's cool. Good. I'm glad for him.
Untrustworthy is what I said. Sorry.
I'm glad for him. Hey, that's fine. I don't have a problem. The guy making a radio show about the thing he loves. It's kind of like what we're doing. It's fine. But also, Twitch is doing some more streaming for traditional sports. They've actually introduced a new channel called /Twitch Sports, which is especially designed for people to go in and watch actual live events or pre-recorded events, I suppose, on Twitch. It's got things like NBA and UFC and NHL on there right now for you to watch. There's also some interesting additions from WWE wrestlers as well. So, want to watch your live sports? Twitch is your new spot to go.
All right.
I don't know. Twitch is
Twitch with 100% more sports ball.
Yes, I know. That's how it feels. That and it's Amazon taking over the world, which bothers me. Bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah,
So
you
we
were
need
okay when it was Google, but Google has time and time again sabotaged itself.
Yeah, I root for Google because they need somebody to root for them.
Every time they get so close, and then they like pull.
I love an underdog.
They pull that parachute right before they like step out of the plane, and then it get like sucked out.
I know.
Yeah,
I love an underdog. That's why I love Google. Well, we got to talk about Christopher Nolan's Tenet.
do we?
I
would prefer to talk about David's Tenet.
If you want, okay, go ahead. Talk about David's Tenet.
Oh, he's just cool.
I want to hear about it.
He's a cool guy. He was
guy.
probably the best Doctor Who. I wanted to watch Jennifer Jones because he was in it, but the show was just terrible.
Oh yeah.
And then they had that good and evil Terry Pratchett, Neil Gaiman thing on Amazon. He was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the yet to be released movie, right?
Yeah.
Who cares about that?
So Christopher Nolan has been like guns go blazing, trying to get his movie to be the big return to summer movie, which with his movie Tenet. This movie is, being a Christopher Nolan flick, it's probably going to be pretty mind-bending, but also they are not letting us in very much on the secrets. They've been trying very hard to get it to be released in the theaters for everyone to see, but they have now decided that it's going to be delayed indefinitely. Interestingly enough, they've decided that they are going to be releasing it to theaters, but in a staged rollout where they might announce in your country or area that they're going to be letting the movie out in there, which is interesting for a Christopher Nolan film with lots of secrets, because those secrets are going to be spoiled, interestingly enough, if it's released in one spot and not another, because the internet not good on holding back the spoilers.
So do you think that this is going to be Christopher Nolan's The Other Side of the Wind? Are you familiar with The Other Side of the Wind?
I'm vaguely remember.
So The Other Side of the Wind was the project that Orson Welles kept saying it's coming, but it never got finished, and for different reasons it just never made it out there. Or there's other movies where they've been done, but for whatever reason the creator won't let it go out. I'm wondering if this is going to be The Other Side of the Wind is just the more famous one that I can think of. I'm wondering if this is going to be that for Christopher Nolan, but that by the time it actually does, people are just going to be over it and not care anymore.
Maybe. All I've got to say is that I'm like 50-50 on Nolan films. So, and from what I've seen in the trailer, I'm actually not that excited, but sometimes that's a good thing for me in a movie. It's just if they hit me right.
Other than the Batman movies that I didn't like, I can't think of anything that he did. That's the only reason I know his name.
I really do like Inception.
Oh, I never saw it. I was never interested. And then everybody talked about it, and I said, okay, I don't need to see it.
Exactly. Oh, they spoiled it. See, internet spoils.
No,
things.
I actually go out and seek. I don't care. Okay. It tells me whether or not, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed that in the first place, so I'd rather just know what's going on.
I do like it when they try to exercise your thought process a bit.
It doesn't.
But not too much. And if you ask me, that was the perfect amount of exercise. I was like, yes, I'm enjoying this. All right. And looks like our last story for the week is another, wow, I'm surprised this wasn't already a thing. In fact, that's something they even say inside the Engadget article. Netflix is now available for you to watch on the Google Nest Hub devices. That's right. If you ask your Google Nest Hub to play Netflix for you, as long as you signed into your Google Nest Hub into your Netflix account, it will play any Netflix show for you directly on the small screen device.
Why was this not available on day one?
I don't know.
I never even thought to ask if this was available, because it already does like Hulu and other stuff.
Yep, it does, and it's just something I guess that was never implemented until now. So now you can watch the service that you've probably watched all of by this time. And there's nothing new on Netflix. You've got everything all watched. At least now you can watch it while you do the dishes.
Yeah, it is a head scratcher that it wasn't there from day one, but hey.
The article uses a supposition that maybe Netflix deemed the picture quality not to be good enough, but when have they cared about that? You could get Netflix on the smallest of phones.
Yeah, and Netflix was available on the original 3DS, which had a notoriously bad screen.
Yeah. I saw someone trying to watch Netflix. I don't remember if we showed this. There was one of the phone companies had e-ink display smartphones.
Nice.
And someone was trying to watch Netflix on e-ink. It
just looked like a big gray blur.
No, it was kind of working.
Oh.
They also had color e-ink, which was really weird.
Nice.
We'll have to. I'll find the pictures of those later.
So it looked like the Aha music video.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Just not as cool. So you didn't have a guy with a whip and a pipe fighting. Oh, wait. No, he didn't have a whip. The one dude just had a pipe and a gun.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. And with that, that is the week's news, everybody.
All righty. And with that, we would like to say thank you to all of you that find some sort of value in this thing that we do every week, and so much so that you have decided to be patrons and support us. You are awesome. If you are not a patron and you would like to support us, you can go to patreon.com/thevodsquad and sign up today.
Yes, you can. And you know what happens when you get when you do that?
You
Our
get to
appreciation.
yes, what he said. No, seriously. If you sign up, we appreciate it. You get you have a direct conduit to us and to our suggestion hearing parts.
Absolutely.
And which other people don't have, and which doesn't get used very often by even those that do currently have access.
Yeah. Come on.
As a reminder,
Hey.
we're coming up on 200 episodes in the next 8 weeks.
Correct.
And 200 seems like a good time to implement changes or make improvements if there need be. So
If you are a Patreon subscriber and you hear my voice and think to yourself, you know what? This is the thing I really like about this show. Please let us know what that thing is so that we can know that continue to focus on those things. We want to hear from you what you do like about the show.
and especially the thing you don't like. And if the
That works
thing
too.
you don't like is the show,
For us.
we need to know that so we can just stop.
Or just come on and get drunk every Wednesday night.
I can't get drunk off tea.
But you can't get drunk on Pepsi. You could probably drink enough to go into like renal failure, but that's not as fun.
No, it's
A whole
definitely
new definition of drunk.
Dead.
Dead drunk.
Dead is the new drunk.
not.
Speaking of dead, why don't we get into some rants and some raves?
Okay.
All right, guys. What do we got?
So, I've been, been busy, and this life is crazy, and things are making me go insane. And so, this weekend, I decided I was going to sit down and I was going to, try to get some work done. But I got an email from Google saying, "Thank you for subscribing to Stadia." At which point I went, "What? Oh man, because
Your
they gave
trial
me a free
ran out.
They gave me a free 3-month trial, and apparently I forgot to unsubscribe by the end of it. So I was like, crud. Now I have to. Okay, well,
That's why those things work that way. It's because people forget.
All I gotta say is thank you for emailing me that happened, because if you would have done it silently, I would have been truly pissed off. But that's okay. So I decided, okay, let's check out Stadia. What's going on there? My problem with Stadia was a lot of there's not much of anything here I really am interested in playing. It's just not much interest at anything I'm really interested in playing. I mean, I'm not a hardcore first-person shooter, and there's a lot of that on there. And so it's like, what should I pick? Something. And then they made an announcement about what's going on with Stadia and their new things that are coming out. And Orcs Must Die 3 is a Stadia exclusive. It's just a timed exclusive. It'll come out to other systems. But Stadia got it. And I have to say, that's right up my alley. So I said, okay, let's give it a shot. I'm going to try it. I haven't played any of the other Orcs Must Die, and I have been playing it a ton on Stadia. Now, the first time I tried Stadia and dealing with the speed issues and the latency issues, and it was okay, and it's almost perfect. I once saw a tiny hiccup in all of my gaming of this weekend on it, and it has been a blast to play. It's been very responsive. It's got almost no perceptible latency, and it's been very impressive. My internet usage has been way up because it's streaming HD video, even on the pause stream, which is something they should fix, by the way.
Well, if they stop, then
Well, no,
Yeah,
there's still a bit of a feed coming from the pause screen because there's a little bit of motion that happens on it. But anyways, it's been really good. And the other game I went through, so I went through to see what other games were in there. There was one other game I was like, oh, this looks interesting. It's called the Turing Test. Apparently, this is a bit of an older game. It's been available on the Xbox and in Steam for a while. I have never heard of it and decided to play it. It is trying really hard to be a Portal clone, and it's pretty good. But the Portal clone being kind of the puzzle portion of it, which is fine. But at the same time, it's telling a fairly compelling story about. I kind of don't want to ruin it, but it's called the Turing. It's called the Turing Test, and I think I'll leave it there. You might be able to surmise what it's about just based on that.
All right.
It's been fun.
As long as it's not the Turing test and you have to sit through tours of stuff, because I will fail that test as I immediately walk away.
Nope. There's no Turing.
Okay.
That's it.
Jimmy?
All right, so I've got another show from Apple TV Plus. So I think last week I talked about Greyhound, which
The dog movie with Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Right.
No, the bus movie. Dude.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's what the bus was named after, was the dog.
Well, I know, but he sits on the bench waiting for the bus.
Right.
With his dog.
Right.
No, with a box of chocolates.
I thought it was chocolate dogs. I don't know.
No,
Yeah, well, it was one of those, right? But anyway, so I did like Greyhound. You know, Greyhound. I talked about it last week. I did like that, and so I found this other show on there called Defending Jacob, and it's a drama. You know, kind of a crime drama series, which me and my wife like those. I showed the preview of it to my wife, and she liked it. I was like, all right, well, let's give it a shot then. And I think maybe the next night, on Thursday night, we watched the first episode, turned into watching the first 3 episodes, right? She really liked it.
hate it when
And
that
by
happens.
the time the end of the weekend got here, we had watched all the episodes and was done with the season.
Cool.
So yeah, it was really entertaining. Keeps you kind of guessing, keeps you on edge of your seat a little bit, you know, that kind of thing. So this one was, well done. Acting was excellent in this one. And again, I've watched some of the other Apple TV Plus shows, but when I come back to it, the one thing I'll say that impresses me with this service is the fidelity, right? The resolution.
It doesn't cheat on you. It's always there when you expect it to be. You never find someone else's shoes under the streaming bed.
No.
Oh,
no,
boy.
never cheats on me, right?
Okay.
And then what's really good is the sound, right? The sound that comes through. So the Adobe Atmos really comes through, right?
Okay.
So I have a question because I'm just looking at this, and it's stars among the other actors is Chris Evans. Every time I watch Chris Evans in something else, I am surprised at how good of an actor he actually is. As hammy as he does some of his stuff, he generally has been an amazing character actor.
That's Thor, right?
No. It's Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange?
Iron Man?
I don't know. No, I'm just saying there's a couple different
Sky-Lord.
Oh no, he's Captain America. Chris Evans.
No,
not
I'm teasing you.
Yes. No, I was
I'm
trying to figure
teasing.
out which guy it was.
Yeah,
I was
it's
legitimately asking.
Oh, okay. I'm
I
sorry. I
understand
was
the
joking.
confusion. I understand the confusion.
There's too many Chris's.
No, it's too often that I'm not.
But if
serious.
you get the chance, you've seen him in Knives Out. He was recently in a movie. I forget about trying to become the foster parent of his genius daughter, which is like very different. And so, I keep watching movies with him in it and going, wow, this guy actually can do a good range of stuff, and I really enjoy.
Mhm.
He's not just your golden boy and superhero character. So
I let me just say, if he can't do a wide range of things, he probably shouldn't be acting.
oh, but so many actors can't.
I know, and those people shouldn't be acting.
Okay, fair enough. Well, looks cool. I will. We don't know. We might do an Apple TV Plus because it's free to us. We don't know.
Well, now that we can get a decent remote, maybe.
Yeah, or use your Roku. Duh.
Yeah. But so in the past, you guys have heard me wax poetically, I guess would be the right word, about a show called Regular Show. I've espoused my love for Regular Show on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very sad when it ended. And I've been missing it. Well,
Okay.
the other day I was scrolling through HBO Max and I saw there's a new HBO Max show, and I looked and the animation looks exactly the same as Regular Show, and I immediately knew that's a J.G. Quintel cartoon. And I clicked into it. It's called Close Enough, and it is hilarious. It is like Regular Show rooted in reality with everything cranked up because they don't have to play it safe for children. It's basically a early 30-year-old couple raising their kid in LA, trying not to become old. And if you are older than 30 and you have kids, you will find a lot of the jokes and the references absolutely hilarious. There was a montage at the cold open for one of it was one of the first few episodes where the kid goes off to gonna be gone for a sleepover, and they're like, we haven't been alone together in forever. You thinking what I'm thinking? They go, yes. And they run into the house and they start running errands, doing taxes, take a nap. You know, it's funny. It's really funny. I highly recommend it if you have HBO Max and you somewhat are. You don't have to be familiar with Regular Show, although I have noticed a couple Easter eggs in there that are Regular Show references in the background. Like there was a guy wearing an excellent hat, which spelled EGG. It was from a egg eating competition in Regular Show. It was pretty funny.
Okay.
But, yes.
Very cool. I did watch some of the format wars from the Regular Show. I didn't get to watch all of them because I was tired and I was flipping through a couple things and I saw a couple of them like, oh, this is great. I need to figure out a time to watch more of this, and then I would fall asleep on my keyboard, wake up with a weird face.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Something.
So J.G. Quintel, who created those shows, he is the voice of Mordecai, the Blue Jay. So he's also the voice of the main character on the new show, which the minute I started, I heard Mordecai's voice and it was like, oh, it's feels normal. And there's lots of people. There's other voices that show up that are really cool. And I mean, it does add the Regular Show level of fantasy on top of the reality that it's rooted in, which there's a nightclub where if they find out you're over 30, you get executed. Because nightclubs are only for cool under 30 people. I mean, stuff like that. Having to battle their way out of the fashion district after dark. Watch it. It's fun. Oh, and they no longer have to use wings as an analog for alcohol. Which on regular show, it took me a while to realize that because they were always going to get wings. And if they had too many, if they like went on a bender and had too many wings, they like pass out. And then I realized, oh, this is a kid show or a kid friendly show. So they replaced alcohol with wings.
Well, what happens when you eat too many wings? Do you pass out?
No, I don't think you can because of all the fire. Well, I guess it depends what kind of wings and
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Also, the kinds of what kind of alcohol, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right.
That's amazing.
Well, with that, I think we can probably bring this to a close. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you all for tuning in.
Of course.
We do this live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central, here on Twitch. So if you're watching this after the fact, you should join us live.
Totally.
It's way more fun. You get to submit titles, which we're going to vote on here in the post show. You also get to participate in the chat. You also get to mute us and do your own voices or whatever. Or what's really fun is you mute a stream and then react to what we're saying based on what's going on in the chat. And you can be like way off, and it's a lot of fun. But you got to be live to do it. So, also reminder, the July movie party is this Saturday. We are watching 1938 classic, The Terror of Tinytown. And the poll for the second movie is up on Twitter right now. Between Kentucky Fried Movie and Cowboys versus Dinosaurs. So those of you that were there for the very first New Year's Eve stream event will remember we watched Cowboys versus Dinosaurs as Movie Party was buying time for another streamer that wasn't available. But most of the people that are currently participating in Movie Party weren't there that day. So this is the perfect time to bring it back.
It is
I
quite
will
the
say,
movie.
I think it is probably my favorite anything that features Eric Roberts.
I remember watching.
Who,
I came in partway through that one.
Most people don't know that is Julia Roberts' like father, brother. They're related.
Oh. Okay.
I think brother. Yeah.
All I gotta say is I remember watching that because I remember
And it was great.
That movie was so great.
Yeah, it was great.
It was
brother,
definitely funny.
brother. Yeah, it's Julia Roberts' brother. So,
Great.
speaking of Julia Roberts,
Ringy
I've got a
endorsement?
question for you guys in the post show. But other than that, stick around for the post show. If you're not watching live, we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.